Hi everybody, I'm Sarah with the trains, and today I'm going to be filming the first part of my new series, Travelling the Bittern Line.
We should be calling it Salthouse, Somerton and Wroxham, Worstead, North Horsham, Gatton, Wrighton Road, Cromer, West Riding and Sheringham.
To address the obvious, yes I do have a new hat. We are now here at our first station of the day, which is Salhouse. Now, this is the platform I actually came in on. But because it's cold, dark and raining, I've decided to come over to the shelter of platform 1. Salhouse station was opened in 1874 and it's the first stop on the Bittern Line between Norwich and Sheringham. And you might be thinking, why is it called the Bittern Line? And that's because it's named after a rare bird, the bittern, that lives in the reedy wetlands of Norfolk, and it's known for its booming call of the male during breeding season. I have never seen a bittern, so I'm going to assume that the picture of the bittern that is on the signs that we're going to see today is accurate. This being the image I'm referring to. So as it's raining so hard, I am going to mostly stay undercover over here. So the run round and run down of the station features maybe from a distance. Yes, definitely from a distance. As you may be able to see over there, the access between the platforms is via a barrow crossing. Over here on platform 2, we do have this lovely old station building, which these days is serving just as a shelter, within which are some benches and an accessibility ramp for the trains. There's some more benches out there and the usual information posters about the network. In October of 2021, Broadland District Council did in fact give planning permission for Greater Anglia to demolish this building to be replaced with some bus shelter style waiting shelters. But Save Britain's Heritage got involved and they have managed to get that decision quashed so that that demolition is at present no longer going ahead, and Save Britain's Heritage have registered an application, if that's the right word, to get this as a listed building so that it can't be demolished. But when I've looked online, I can't see a record of this as a listed building as yet, so I think that's still in progress. Now that it's a bit brighter, let's take a bit of a better look at the station. So here is that barrow crossing I mentioned to take you between the platforms. Over here we also have the car park. This is over at platform 2. There are some information screens there, but from what I can see they're not working at the minute. We've got cycle parking, including a bike that's fallen over, and a help point. Here is that flappy plastic bin. We also have a walking map of Salhouse, and this is the station building that I mentioned that was going to be demolished and replaced by bus shelter style shelters. I'm going to be brutally honest, I am sort of starting to regret my decision to come out today because it is so cold and so windy. And I think I may have to rethink this plan. A couple of the stations I originally intended to go to today are out in the open with no real waiting shelters and nowhere particularly to go. Yeah, maybe change the plan a little. Any minute my next train is going to be arriving to take me off to my next station, which is going to be Hoverton and Wroxham. See you there. We are now here at Hoverton and Wroxham. As you can see here at Hoverton and Wroxham, we do still have station buildings, and on platform 1 the station building has been turned into a restaurant called the Station Smokehouse. Much like Sale House, this station was also opened in 1874 and has been in use ever since. To the north of the station there used to be a junction where a line that went to County School branched off from the Norwich line, and this is actually the last part of the Bittern Line that is double track, aside from a passing loop at North Walsham and a small section of track that goes into the station at Cromer. Now, the old line to County School, the old track bed, has actually been turned into something else, which I think we'll go and see now. It's the Bure Valley Railway, a little narrow gauge railway that runs between here and Aylsham. The narrow gauge station here bears the original name of the main railway station. At the time it opened, the station was simply known as Wroxham and was only changed to Hoverton and Wroxham under British Railways in 1966. Next to the station sign, we have the start of the Bure Valley Combined Footpath and Cycleway, with this lovely sign at the entrance to it. Also next to the Bure Valley Railway is Wroxham Signal Box. This was built in 1900 and closed 100 years later in 2000, having been made redundant by the installation of modern signalling. It was supposed to be demolished, but instead it became a listed building and was moved 6 metres to avoid blocking the view of the new signalling. It is now open to the public on selected days in the year. Now, to get between the platforms at Hoverton and Wroxham, there is a lovely footpath. If you so desire, you can take a walk to the river, or you can go to the village, the boatyard, and all those lovely things that are in Hoverton and Wroxham. Also, to get here, you can take the stairs down from the platform. Over here on the Norwich bound side, we've got more information. We had information on the Sheringham side as well. We also have the car park and an Amazon locker and a phone box. Is there actually a phone in it though? Shall we go and see? Oh, stiff. There is, but it's smashed. So I'm going to hazard a guess that that doesn't work. There is also a ticket machine and cycle storage. So here at platform 1, let's see what there is other than the Station Smokehouse. Ooh, information. A planter. Some cycle storage on the platform again. And the station building. Now let's go and see what's in the village centre at Hoverton and Wroxham. While I'm in Wroxham, I can't forget Roy's. Founded in 1895, the Norfolk-based chain has the tagline, "The world's largest village store." The Roy brothers opened a store just outside Hoverton St John in 1899. Virtually all the supplies for the store arrived into the nearby railway station, addressed to Roy Brothers, LNER Station, Wroxham, thus beginning the Roys of Wroxham name. Over the years, Roy's of Wroxham has diversified, but remains a family business. I must say, the architecture on the food hall is so enticing, I can't help but nip in for breakfast.
So now that I've warmed up a bit, having had some breakfast, including hot chocolate, I've brushed the hash brown crumbs out of my pigtails, and we're now ready to go and get the train to North Walsham. Now, one thing I didn't mention about Hoverton and Wroxham Station, there aren't any toilets, but there are some public toilets at the Tourist Information Centre down the road, or you could just nip into Roy's, get a bite to eat, warm up, and go to the toilet in there. Obviously, I think this goes without saying, but don't go into Roy's just to use the toilet. Please go and buy something or eat something. Disclaimer, this video is not sponsored by Roy's of Wroxham.
We have made it to North Walsham, which apparently is home of Paston Sixth Form College.
So, we have made it as far as North Walsham. This has also been open since 1874, although at one point it wasn't called North Walsham. And there was also another station called North Walsham. I'll quickly explain. After this station opened, there was another station opened in 1881 that served the Midland and Great Northern lines going to Melton Constable and Great Yarmouth. Now, in 1948, when British Railways came into existence, the names of the stations were changed so that the one serving Melton Constable and Great Yarmouth became North Walsham Town, and this North Walsham became North Walsham Main. North Walsham Town closed in 1959, along with the lines that were on that Midland and Great Northern network, and that station is no longer in existence. It was demolished in 1976 to make way for a bypass. So far as station features here go, let's have a look.
On both platforms, we have got benches, as well as the bus shelter style waiting rooms. Oh my god, it's windy. We have some nice planters, and over there on platform 1, as well as the usual help point and ticket machine, we have a lovely Amazon box. We also have information screens.
North Walsham did originally have some station buildings. At first they were made out of wood, but when there was a line built to Munsley and they thought that there was going to be a lot of tourism coming through, they decided to build some actual brick station buildings. They opened, I believe, in 1902. Obviously those have also since gone, and we've got the bus shelter style waiting rooms, but I joke about those, perhaps poke gentle fun at them, but to be honest, they're keeping me dry today, so shh, not a bad word said for today at least.
Now, as we exit the station, you can see that access between the platforms is on the road. Although originally this was a subway. Over here on the Norwich bound side, you have got the station car park. We have also got cycle parking, and then we have this little building here, which I actually don't know what it is, but I like it. We also have some sections of platforms that are no longer in use and are fenced off. Now up there you can probably just see that it goes from single track to a passing loop at this station. Over here on this side of the station you have got the Norfolk Motorcycle Museum, if that should take your fancy. Oh, it is things to see and places to go. in North Walsham. Oh, it's even got a little section about the town with 2 stations. Excellent! So people can learn about that. Looking for something to do, I have come to North Walsham Memorial Park. So prior to today, the only time I've ever been to North Walsham was for my friend's son's christening, which means I know the grand total of the location of the church and the pub. But I decided to have a look for something, and I found something interesting that's just over there that I thought was kind of cool. So let's go see it. It's history stuff. This is a memorial to the Peasants' Revolt of 1381, and I just thought this was something really, really interesting. Now, of course, the Peasants' Revolt came about in 1381 because being a peasant in the 14th century was bloody awful. You'd had the Black Death, you were treated like rubbish, and life was not great for living. There is a lot more to it than that, so I challenge you, homework time, look up the Peasants' Revolt. Or not, I'm not gonna check if you do. Now, because of course I am 31 years old, it is time to have a go on the swings. Are you ready for a go on the swings? Let's go. Whee! Well, that's enough of that. Oh god, oh god. Standing up is hard. Now it's time to head back to the station to get our next train, and in a change to what I'd originally planned, we're going to go to Cromer now. (755-414). Really wish I had my camera running because the conductor just announced our next stop as Cloudy Cromer. Not a lie. Here we are, it's Cloudy Cromer. It's a rainy Cromer. So here I am at what is going to be my last stop of the day in Cloudy Cromer, which is what I will be referring to it as from now on. This station opened as Cromer Beach in 1887. There were 2 other stations in Cromer. There was Cromer High and Cromer Links Holt. And I'm going to hand over to Narration Sarah to explain a bit more. Take it away, Narration Sarah. Cromer High was opened in 1877 to the south of the town and was the first station to open in Cromer. Originally just named Cromer, its name only changed to Cromer High under British Railways in 1948. In 1906, a connection was opened between the line to Cromer High and the Midland and Great Northern Railway line between Melton Constable and Cromer Beach. This meant that passengers from Norwich could travel right through to Cromer Beach, which was sited nearer to the centre of town, thus being far more convenient for people visiting Cromer. Consequently, passenger numbers at Cromer High declined, and the station closed to passengers in 1954. The station then closed to freight in 1960 and was subsequently demolished. The third station in Cromer, Cromer Links Holt, opened in 1923 as little more than a single wooden platform, primarily to serve the Royal Cromer Golf Club, hence the inclusion of links in the name. Having no direct service to Norwich, however, the Holt was little used, and so was closed by British Railways in 1953, only 30 years after opening. Here at the last remaining station in Cromer, you can see the buildings are still present. There was a bar at Cromer Station up until 1966, when the building fell into disuse. It was opened as a pub again in 1998, and subsequently became a nightclub known as Bouncers, which it still has the signs for, but it now stands disused once again. Next to the station, there is a Morrison's supermarket. The supermarket and its car park are built on the site of the old goods yard for Cromer Beach Station.
Now, in terms of station facilities, let's see what we've got.
There are a couple of platforms with benches, lovely bus shelter, and a little brick waiting room down there as well. And obviously these gorgeous palm trees that are totally appropriate for our climate. And down here we have something I find particularly interesting. So let's go and see. Down here we have got the old signal box. And there are a few bits in that. I don't know if that's somebody's private garden, but there is an old Midland Great Northern sack barrow thing, and also an old bench. So that's really cool. Also at the station we have got another Amazon locker. There really is an abundance of flappy plastic bins here as well as cycle storage, and a slightly different looking bench. We've mostly had red benches today, or burgundy, I don't know what colour you'd call them. And then on the way out here we have got a lovely ticket machine, some more planters, information posters, a help point, some more information screens, there are a couple earlier as well, and cycle storage again, as well as the station car park, which seems to be full at the minute. There is actually a sign that I think is very useful. I'm always big on where the nearest toilet facilities are, and this tells me the nearest public toilet is Cadogan Road. Yeah, Cadogan Road. You can just see the D behind the pole. Excellent to know. So now that I've made it to my last station of the day, I'm going to go and have an explore of Cromer. I don't know if the goats are still on the cliffs at the moment, but if they are, I will get a picture for you. And then I'll meet you back here at Cromer Station to head back to Norwich. Here you go, the sea at Cromer. Complete with the old Victorian pier. So in the Victorian and the Edwardian period, Cromer really was a fashionable holiday destination in a way that it perhaps isn't now. But you can really see like the effort they put into making this a resort just by like the pier that I've just shown you, and there is this spectacular hotel that I'm standing in front of. So let's show you that as well. So yeah, this is one of the hotels on the front at Cromer, and I think that is just a marvel of architecture. The original Hotel de Paris was built on this site in 1830 by Pierre Lefrançois. In 1891, the then owner of the hotel, Alex Jarvis, decided to build a new hotel on the site. This is what we see today. The architect George John Skipper incorporated the old building plus the neighbouring properties of Albert House and the Bellevue Hotel into his design, and with all rooms in the hotel being modernised. In 1977, the Hotel de Paris was given Grade 2 listed status and remains in operation as a hotel to this day. I think these days, with the abundance of cheap travel overseas to go to like Mallorca or wherever, people probably think, well, why would you bother going to Cromer? What's the big deal? But the North Norfolk coast is lovely. It is great. There's a reason it became a fashionable holiday destination. I just think it's a shame that the transport links that brought people here to go on their holidays, the train lines mainly of course, have disappeared. You know, there is the line from Norwich to Cromer, but that's it. You don't have the same connections as you do. Trains used to run from London to Cromer, you know, bringing people from everywhere. We just don't have that now, and I think it's a shame. Now, as anybody who watched my last Travelling the Bittern Line episode will know, I was given some money on Ko-fi by my follower Tim to buy some Kit Kats, and he has also suggested that I try Tim Tams, which are an Australian thing, and I managed to get some through the wonders of Amazon because I couldn't get any in the sweet shop in town. So I am now going to enjoy a Tim Tam while looking at the sea. I can confirm Tim Tams are really good. Thanks for the suggestion, Tim. Okay, so in Cromer they have goats that hang out on the cliffs and just graze and generally have a great time. Usually in the winter months they are all rounded up and they go for a nice warm holiday until it's time to come out again. But this time there is one lonely little goat who does not want to be caught and is still here. And here is the aforementioned goat. Just hanging out on his own, eating grass and stuff. Hello, Mr. Goat. Meh. No, I've not got the dialect right. So before I go and get my train home, I just want to say a great big thanks to everybody for watching, everybody who subscribes, likes, comments, and a special thanks to anybody who has donated to me on Ko-fi. I really appreciate it. You all make everything worthwhile. Thanks for watching.